I hate my parents so much that if they died tomorrow it would not impact me at all. I'm really pissed off my parents had the audacity to breed yet also neglect and abuse their children. Because of my parents' shitty genetics, I have come to find I have scoliosis, a dairy gluten allergy, abnormally flexible joints digits, a hormonal imbalance, etc. Essentially I am a mutant. Meanwhile, because of their neglect, I didn't know I had the dairy gluten allergy due to the fact they actually implied anytime I got sick it was for attention. So it just became normal for me to get sick. The scoliosis is now irreversible, and instead of focusing on health and diet to help with the hormonal imbalance, they just made fun of me. On top of that, my mother was physically, emotionally, and verbally abusive while my father was neglectful and didn't even view us as his children, just more people to use or mooch off. Currently I'm seeing a nutritionist and chiropractor to hope for the fucking best, I guess. I genuinely do not care about other people's problems. I get so unbelievably angry whenever anyone talks to me about their own personal issues because I just do not give a shit. I always try to help them as quickly as I can just so they would shut up about it. This is probably why everyone comes to me with their problems, but I don't want to be rude and tell them how I really feel. It's also the reason I never share about my problems. I always feel like everyone feels the same way I do about it, so I don't tell anyone because I don't want to annoy them like they annoy me. Edit. I think a lot of you misunderstood. I'm more talking about small personal problems that aren't mine to deal with. If someone came to me saying their mom died, I'd obviously care and wouldn't get annoyed. It's when people come to me with random annoying shit expecting me to fix it for them. It's not that I don't have empathy, I have the capability to feel bad, it's just annoying when people expect me to fix everything for them. Also, I'm not quite sure of all the hate I'm getting. I can't control how I feel and I don't tell them I don't care, so I'm not hurting anyone. And the reason I came here is Reddit is my only place to vent because I don't vent to others. If you guys don't care about my problems, you can simply keep scrolling. That's not the case in real life. I stabbed my classmate on the head with a pencil when I was in kindergarten. This topic came up recently when my mom and I started talking about my childhood. I never admitted to this and told everyone it was an accident. Here's what happened. We were asked to draw something on a piece of paper. I forgot what he did to me or what happened, but I remembered I intentionally stabbed him on the head with my pencil. When he started crying and babbling how I stabbed him, I denied it at first, but he won't stop crying. They checked out his head and found a mark of a pencil, then it was confirmed. I also started crying and told everybody that I was just stretching out since I'm tired from drawing, and when I dropped my hands holding a pencil, his head just happens to be on the way. They believed that. And turns out that kid was actually being bullied by other kids and then he dropped out. Every time I look at our class picture I can't help to feel sorry. Just put on the fucking condom. I am sick and tired of grown-ass men throwing a hissy fit when I ask them to put on a condom. Here's a list of the excuses I've gotten. But you're on the pill, we don't need one. I can pull out. No really, I can pull out. I just got tested, don't you trust me? Please, I just want to fuck you. I drank too much, I can't come with it on. Especially pissed off that each of the 3 men that pulled this shit waited until we were in the moment to bring up the conversation. It's disrespectful as fuck. Your orgasm is not as important as my health and safety. I abused my son physically and emotionally, and will never forgive myself. This is in no way meant to justify my actions, however, I hope that maybe this will help me grow, if only a little, as a person. I had perfect childhood, my parents were amazing people, we had a comfortable lifestyle, and yet, I still got into drugs and alcohol. I did cocaine, heroin, and, later on, weed. I drank constantly, and chain smoked like there was no tomorrow. When I was a teenager, I ran away under the guise of my parents being unfair and met a wonderful man in New Mexico, who I would later have my son with. In 1966, I had our son. I wasn't married to the father of my son, and so, in such a year in time, I was able to run away from him and raise our son with limited money and limited knowledge of how to be a mother. I sold my body, and only delved further into the land of drugs and alcoholism. My son was born on drugs, and didn't know any different than to watch his mother pass out on the couch, naked. I had a horribly short temper, and as my son got older, I began to hit him out of pure frustration. When he was a baby, I neglected him severely, and it was a wonder he survived infancy. Now, I would smack him, punch him, kick him, call him names, deprive him of food and water. My boyfriends did horrendous things to him that cannot be stated here, but you guys can fill in the blanks. My son was scared physically and emotionally, and it was all my fault. Eventually, his father managed to get custody, which was quite a feat in itself, and took him into the States on a visa. I remained in an unfamiliar place filled with people whose language I couldn't speak, drifting in and out of prison, drugged up beyond belief. My son got into drugs badly, and will forever carry the memories of the abuse and other unspeakable horrors. I tried to get into contact with him and his father back in the 80s, but neither of them reciprocated. My son called me a miserable bitch and refused to speak with me. His father didn't say much, but didn't want to associate with me, and brought up countless good points regarding myself and my habits. Now, I'm sober after a few months in rehab, and married happily. My son appears to be sober, and is a semi-successful guitarist who seems to live a happy life. His father is doing well too. But I will never get rid of the guilt, nor will I ever move on. I hope that sharing this helps me, and maybe assuages the guilt, if only a little bit.
Like the episode, and smash the subscribe button.